What is good, everybody? And welcome to Weekday Wagers, the special, very St. Patrick's Day edition of Weekday Wagers. So go ahead, grab a Guinness or Jameson, whatever your St. Patrick's Day of choice is. Join us as we start breaking down tonight. There's so much happening tonight. We've got some NCAA action. The first four games are playing in. We got NIT action kicking off. We have the World Baseball Classic. And of course, there's still hockey, plenty of NBA to cover. I can't do this alone, which is why I got to bring in, when we talk about hockey, there is no one better. No one better. Robbie, how you doing, buddy?
Mark, doing great. Yeah, recovering from my beer smash yesterday. So now it's on to Jameson today for St. Patty's Day.
And you know what? Nate G right on time.
Didn't even see that. Nice.
It says JMO Day, baby. It is. Listen, there is so much to jump into tonight. First of all, we have the World Baseball Classic Showdown, the final championship game between the U.S. and Venezuela. What are your impressions so far?
Just a gutsy win the other night against the Dominican Republic. I mean, that was a hell of a team that they played. And also, I'm tired of teams losing to us and saying, well, we're the better team. Well, okay, you lost. Good. On paper, you are the best team ever on paper, and you still lost. So congrats. I know the call was wonky, but, that's baseball, man. Even if it didn't go USA's way, that's baseball. It happens. You want to fix that, get the umpires out of it and use those machines. But I'm pumped because, you have men's hockey won the Olympic gold. Women's hockey won the Olympic gold. Our Paralympic hockey team won their 5th straight gold. So, shout out to those guys. Those guys are awesome. So, yeah, no pressure or anything tonight, Team USA.
Yeah, right. Is that the spot you want to be in if you're on this Team USA? The one who's like, okay, we've got everybody winning. We cannot fall short.
It has to be in their minds a little bit, right? Because I know Jack Hughes came and did like a pregame speech for one of their games. So I know they have to know it's there. So I'm hoping they can pull it out. Venezuela's not going to be easy, though. I couldn't believe they beat Italy last night as well as Italy's been playing.
Yeah, Italy up 2-0, and Venezuela comes right back and closes it out 4-2. Looking ahead, because I think, that World Baseball Classic finale tonight is going to be something special. I did hear that there was some I'm trying to think of the starting pitcher for US.
Shoot.
Yeah, it just slipped my mind. I did hear that he was going to be restricted. Eugenio Suarez, thank you, Miss Kim. Eugenio Suarez is going to be on a limited pitch count, and that they've got some bullpen, it's the last game, so obviously the parent teams don't want their players going all out.
Suarez doesn't pitch, though, does he? No. Suarez, he just went off last night. He's the one who hit the home run.
Oh, I thought you know what? Miss Kim is always so good at when we ask a question. She's usually, I just looked over and saw it in the comment, went, oh, Eugenio Suarez. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. He's not a pitcher. Okay.
Yeah. My baseball brain isn't all the way turned on, but it's
right.
That doesn't seem right.
Mine hasn't even cranked up yet. I'm doing everything else. Hey, and just as a kind of a little tease, if you will. In fact, it's no tease at all. We are actively working on getting the next 4 days of the NCAA basketball games, both the NIT and the NCAA tournament, getting it posted on Just a Stat Sports so you can see all the model projections. That team has been working on it all morning long, trying to get the simulations run for all of the games that are happening. So those should be up here shortly. If they aren't already up, go check it out. Use code DATA100, DATA 100. Get your first month for 50% off. It's not a bad deal. Nolan McLean is the pitcher.
That checks out.
Okay.
Pitcher for the Mets.
Right. And he's going to be on a limited pitch count, and they're going to not rely so heavily on the bullpen as far as trying to get them extended innings. It's going to be a quick turnover, trying to keep everybody's arms fresh for the start of the season. And speaking of fresh, there has been some moves in the NFL. Some people are getting some fresh new starts at other teams. Waddle is now a Denver Bronco. What does that do for Denver?
It's really good for Denver, I think. Now, how we said in our group text today, if he can hold up in the cold, that's my only worry with Waddle. But you're getting a hell of an athlete. You're getting somebody who this should help actually Cortland Sutton and that team. Actually, that should help if you're looking at him in fantasy, if you're starting looking at him for player props, because he's never really had that true number 2 guy with him. And Waddle, I would even say, is almost equal to his talent right now. So you've got 2 really good stud wide receivers to help out Bo Nix. I like this move for Denver.
Well, talk about that a little bit, right? Because we have talked on this show before about teams like the Buffalo Bills, who don't really have a true, wide receiver 1 in that wide receiver room. They have some decent wide receivers, but nobody has really broken out and said, it fit that wide receiver 1 role. What does a team like Denver now do with, to your point, having almost 2 wide receiver 1s and making sure that each guy is getting enough looks and reps to be happy?
I don't think the looks part will matter as much. Like I said, Cortland Sutton is a stud, but it seems like he has hit or miss games. He's never just a consistent. You never see him doing like 100-yard games, basically, is what I'm trying to say, like a JSN. But now that you've added Waddle to the equation, a guy who can go deep, a guy who can create space, now you're going to have to count for both of them. So you're not going to be able to double Cortland. And I think Evan Ingram's props, they kind of get a little bit better. He's been in Denver. I'm not sure if they re-signed him or not, but I know he was there last year. The running backs, that's another key factor. Both of them, I think they're getting back. Oh, he's your guy, Mark, and I never can remember his name. He played for
I know
LA.
who you're talking about. He played for the Chargers.
Yeah, and they re-signed him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know who you're talking about.
Between him and RJ Harvey, they got some good running backs back there as well. So I like this, and they're going to keep pace because it looks like the Raiders, they've had a hell of an offseason, especially if they somehow keep Crosby. Indian, God, I can't get their teams right. Kansas City, I know we're going to talk to in a minute. They've added some upgrades as well. So it's good for Denver to get a guy like Waddle in there to keep pace with that division.
Yeah, I like it. Speaking of, let's stay right in that division, the AFC West, because you just brought it up. Justin Fields goes from the New York Jets out to KC, looking at being the probable starter for the first, maybe or the second game as well of the season, depending on how the Patrick Mahomes recovery comes from his knee surgery. What does this do? And do you think a guy like Fields can flourish here in Kansas City?
One, I don't know if we see a world where Patrick Mahomes isn't starter week 1. Like, I don't know how you keep him from it. I know health-wise, I mean, if he's not ready, he's not ready. But it's going to be really hard for me to see him not starting week 1. Now, Justin Fields does give you that mobility. His throwing is a whole other issue, but he does give you that mobility. If you give me him, Gardner Minshew, or the other guy they threw out there, I can't even remember his name last year, I think I would probably rather have Justin Fields just to get me by for the first few weeks until Mahomes is back. So you're asking him, too, not to be a starter. He's coming there as a clear backup. He knows what his role is. But I think with the weapons they have, he could be a serviceable backup and at least get him through the first few weeks if Mahomes isn't ready.
Right. I mean, again, this is they didn't trade for a starter. They traded for a bridge if they need it, right?
Exactly.
We just need you to get us to the Mahomes days.
Exactly. Yeah, and like I said, I haven't checked the status of Mahomes. I don't know how far he is in his recovery. I just know him as an athlete and seeing him play. If he can play in week 1, he's going to play week 1.
Gotcha. Okay. And talk about playing. Let's switch gears and talk about what the hell happened in the Western Conference last night on the ice. Because, I mean, one, I was on the Colorado Avalanche, and, yes, Pittsburgh is in the hunt in the East, but Colorado needed a game, and they got their asses kicked last night by the Penguins. And the Dallas Stars end up losing to Utah. Is there a team that you see coming out of the West that is going to be a clear-cut winner, or what the hell is going on?
They're going to eat each other alive like they do every year in the playoffs. That's the problem with the West. I think the West is the best, but it's one of those deals where they beat up on each other so bad, especially come playoff time. Those are still 3 really good teams. Look at Colorado. They're still missing Lankin and Landeskog. They're starting to skate again. So if you add those weapons with Nazem Kadri coming back, I think they're going to be okay. They're still 3 games ahead or 3 points ahead of Dallas right now, but the Stars are surging. Utah is one of those tricky teams, though. When they should win, like Chicago, they've lost to them 3 times in a 2-week span.
Right.
They don't show up at all. But then you play the Dallas Stars in Dallas last night and totally waxed them 7-2. So they're just a tricky team to get a gauge of. And then you've got Edmonton, Minnesota. Those teams are kind of in the back. But even Edmonton and Vegas, like that division is terrible right now. It's like any of those guys couldn't miss out in the playoffs if they go on a bad losing streak coming up.
Yeah, and that's what, to your point, Nate G says it's the Central, right? The Valley of Death. And the Pacific is the Valley of Wimps.
Yeah, and he's not wrong. You look Anaheim, Vegas, Edmonton. When you put those 3, Edmonton, Vegas, and Anaheim right now, it's hard to give you a clear number 1 of the 3. It really is. I like Anaheim because they're a young team, and I think they're going to be more scrappy. You look at Edmonton, they just lost Leon Draisaitl. Now, Connor Ingram has been better at a goalie for Edmonton. I will say he has kind of shut things down a little bit. Also, getting those defensive pieces they got the trade deadline seems to finally be clicking. But as soon as they get that, now goes Leon Draisaitl goes down. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Right.
Vegas, I can't get a good gauge on them. They're another one that can go on 3 or 4 game losses and then play a team like Colorado and look amazing. So it's really crazy. It's really crazy. And then you still have Seattle and Utah barely limping in, and the Kings barely limping in that wild card spot. So it should be an interesting few weeks down the stretch here.
All right. Well, listen, stay tuned because you have your hand on the pulse of the NHL, and it always amazes me how well you can start to figure out these playoff teams and what teams' kind of motivations are. So I can't wait, for people watching, when Robbie talks, you damn well better be listening about hockey. And when our friend C. Bass talks, you know that our picks are on the other side. Hold on one second.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's gonna turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't-miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
All right, go get yourself some Bassett Blends. But tonight, listen, there's not going to be a whole lot really spicy on the hard court here in the NBA. When the Spurs go visit the Sacramento Kings, I am taking the first half under 120.5 at -110. And this is a really clean setup for a first half under because when you look at how these two teams match up, a lot of what Sacramento wants to do offensively just doesn't translate well here against the Spurs. These teams have already played twice this season. The Spurs have controlled both games, winning each by double digits. Excuse me. The line here tonight is at 12.5. It's a little too rich for my blood, which is why I'm playing this first half under. And their ability to control games matters, especially when you start looking at how they have done it. And when you see Sacramento, there's some real red flags offensively, right? I mean, over the last 10 games, they've been near the bottom of the league in 3-point shooting, 28th in percentage, and dead last in both makes and attempts. So you're talking about a team that isn't stretching the floor at all and has to go inside now against the freak Wembanyama. I just don't see it happening. You can't compete against him when he's just swatting balls like that, which is exactly what San Antonio has been doing defensively. They've relied on him. They've allowed the 6th fewest paint points over that same stretch. So if Sacramento can't shoot from deep and they can't finish inside consistently, where are those points going to come from? I don't see them getting too many points here in the first half. Look for them. They might be able, if they can keep it close, for a backdoor cover on the points, but I don't trust that either. Give me the first half under 120.5 at -110. Robbie, what do you do?
Definitely not going under in my game. We're taking Matt Savoy, 1+ point at +115 versus the San Jose Sharks. Look, this game has overwritten all over it, especially on the Edmonton side, because I don't trust the San Jose's defense. Like I said earlier, Connor Ingram has been a lot better. So my Sharks plays are a little bit limited tonight, but a guy I love tonight is Matt Savoy. He is on the top line with Connor McDavid and Zach Kouman. He has a point in his last 2 games with a goal and an assist. And he also has already played the Sharks once this season and had an assist in that game as well. San Jose's 31st defensively against in the NHL. I just love this matchup for Matt Savoy. Anytime you're on the top line with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman, there's an opportunity for points. I think he keeps the hot streak going tonight, especially with Leon Draisaitl being down tonight and possibly a few more games coming up. So give me Matt Savoy, 1+ point at +115.
Love that look. Right? I mean, if you're on that line with those guys, come on.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's one of the better rookies in the league right now, but he doesn't get talked about enough because he's been kind of buried on that depth chart. But as of late, he's been up there on the top line, and I like the way he's playing right now. I think he has 9 shots on goal in his last 3 games, so the volume's there. So surely enough, we can get a point tonight against the Sharks.
I like it. And listen, we do have some great games happening on the ice tonight. We also have, here at Weekday Wagers, posted up earlier this morning, our game of the day or our play of the day. It involves Howard and the University of Maryland Baltimore Retrievers. So right after we're off here, make sure you go check that out. I love this look of, I think that we're in for a heck of a game tonight. I'm excited, dude. This is a great time of year because college basketball will be on from noon until 2 a.m. And I always each year seem to catch the flu around this time of year, where you got to stay curled up on the couch, stay hydrated. Unfortunately, the flu won't kick in for me until tomorrow because it is St. Patrick's Day. I, right after the show here, am leaving to go do a St. Patrick's Day gig. So got to go do that.
Can't use the flu excuse here because it legit swept through my house a week or so ago. So I don't think you can get it twice in that quick.
Yeah. Hope not. Knock on wood, right? Don't want that to happen. Listen, I was trying to come up with a light the lamp graphic, and I just absolutely ran out of time today. Looking at tonight's slate.
Yeah.
If you had to give out 2 guys that, and I'll say, you know what? We don't have the list, so let's give out 2 people that we like to score a goal.
Okay.
Who would you start with?
Cole Caulfield, +135. I love his look tonight. Talking about the flu, he had it, I think, last week. But he's gotten over that because he has a goal in 2 straight games. That gives him 7 in his last 10 and 39 on the year. So Mr. Cole Caulfield is going for number 40 tonight. Oh, and against the Bruins, he has a goal in 7 straight games. So I think tonight is a perfect night for Cole Caulfield to light the lamp.
Tell me what you know about Kirill.
Which one, the chill or the thrill?
Oh, tonight he's going to be the thrill because he's going to score a goal for me tonight.
All right, for the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, you get him at +115.
I like it. I looked at it, but he hasn't been good against Chicago. But when I look at his head-to-head matchups, and I'm trying to pull it up now, I actually like their second line in Minnesota tonight. It seems like any of the damage that's been done has been by Matt Boldy and Joel Eriksson-Ek. I think Boldy, of those 3, it would be my favorite tonight, which if I'm off Kirill, he usually does have a goal. Here we go. He did have a goal. Okay. He has 2 goals in his last 4 games against the Blackhawks. So yeah, get right spot. Blackhawks, scrappy bunch, not that good. I don't mind Kirill a thrill, but I think I like Matt Boldy the best if I'm putting my money on it.
All right. Who else? So you're going with who then? Your 2 guys.
I'm going with Cole Caulfield is my guy. My other guy, I'm going to Tampa Bay, and they are playing Seattle. And I'm going to go with Nikita Kucherov to get a goal tonight in that game. Pulling his stats up. I already like him and Brandon Hagel. They're on the second line together. Hagel has a point in like 10 straight games against the Kraken. So if that holds up tonight, Kucherov's going to get a goal. He has 3 goals in his last 3 gaams against the Kraken. So Kucherov will be my other one. That's at +145. That's actually a really good number for Nikita.
You know, I am going with Tage Thompson.
Okay.
They're playing the Golden Knights.
Yep.
And I think what we have seen with these Western Conference teams, first of all, I don't trust a single one of them anymore. Second, Buffalo is playing really, really good hockey. And when you look at what Tage has done since the Olympic break, these guys have been on fire. I love this spot. You know, I Vegas is favored for some reason in this one, and I don't know why. I actually think Buffalo ends up winning it, but it's because Tage Thompson, you got the firepower that they have. Jack Quinn?
Got Jack Quinn, Josh Doan, Alex Tuck, Jason Zucker, a lot of top guys. I think, and I could be wrong, but it looks like their top line, this is according to Doink, is Zach Benson, Tage Thompson, and Noah Ostlund. That's who they're going to round as their top line. I don't know if that's having any sway in the number.
And then they also, for that first defensive, they have Darlene, who is a phenomenal offensive threat in his own right. So I think that, you know, when you look at that first line, you literally have to look at that entire first team on the ice and really see the contributions that they bring.
I'm glad you brought up Rasmus Dahlin because you can get his anytime assist at -111. That was -130 to -140 all last week because I kept playing it and it kept cashing. But tonight it's -111. He has an assist in every other game against Vegas dating back to 2022. Most recently, March the 3rd, he had 2 assists against the Golden Knights. So that might be worth a look tonight.
I like it. I think that we're done. We hit everything, didn't we?
It feels like it.
Yeah, we covered a lot, and I just looked up and said, oh, wow, we did that in less than 25. That's not bad. That's not bad. DG's not going to blow up my phone with text messages saying, why'd you go over?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost feels like the calm before the storm, right? We have an appetizer of the World Baseball Classic. We've got hockey games with playoff implications tonight. You got the start of the NCAA tournament with the play-in games. I mean, it really feels like the calm before the storm that's about to hit on Thursday with the actual tournament starting.
It's going to be a blitz, and I know that our IT team has been working. I just got a thumbs up that those games are posted, so everything should be all right on the site. I'll go check it out since we're done here. But Nate wants to know if you're going to go smash 2 bottles of JMO now.
And well, one, I'm at my actual job, so I can't do that. And I have to coach soccer tonight. Didn't coach soccer last night. I had the night off. That's the only reason why I did the 2 beers. But I can say after soccer there will be a little bit of JMO. I don't know about 2 bottles, but I will partake in some JMO later on tonight.
And Nate, I can
in this jersey because we play the Winnipeg Jets.
I can tell you that in 2.5 hours, I will be taking a stage with a Guinness in one hand, and there will be plenty of JMO flowing throughout the night. We actually call Jameson our throat coat because it helps us sing. So
it definitely helps if you got a scratchy throat. So
I'm telling you, it warms up the vocal cords, and that's the excuse we're using.
And look, like I'm telling you, I'm not a doctor. But Jameson, some hot green tea, and some honey, if you're legit sick, I'm telling you, that's a miracle drink. Or you can just take Jameson by the bottle and go sit in a hot sauna if you've got a fever, and it knocks it right out. Just dehydrate yourself, get drunk, and try not to fall asleep in the sauna.
So just brings up, I don't need an excuse to drink. One, first, you're not wrong, okay? But 2, I do have to say, and Joe, I meant to say this earlier when I saw you in the chat. I posted on X about the video, about the game of the day and what we were having. And we have a new thumbnail now with these new graphics. And Joe's comment made me laugh out loud. He said, I look like a captain of a ship that departs at 10 in the morning, and there will be some alcohol and song involved along the way. And I started laughing because I'm like, yeah, that really does.
Checks out.
Yeah, it checks all the boxes. You win, Joe. So yes, thank you for the laugh. That was great to see. If for those who haven't seen the game of the day video, head on over there right after we clear here because yeah, I love that spot tonight for Howard and the Retrievers. UMBC. That's what I'm thinking of. All right. So with that, we've got baseball. We've got college basketball. We have NHL with playoff implications, and we've got some NBA, and those playoffs are starting to shape up, and we're starting to see teams kind of get a little more competitive, and this whole tanking business hopefully is going to be reduced to a minimum, because there are still some teams that just absolutely suck.
Yeah,
But
I hope LeBron's boo-boo got better on his knee, because SportsCenter made a big deal about him getting a scrape on his knee from taking a dive. So prayers up for Bron. I hope you feel better, you big baby.
Prayers up for Bron. With that, join me and Robbie right back here tomorrow, 2:00 Eastern time, where we start breaking down some more of the NCAA tournament and what's going on the ice. Until then, take care. Let's cash these tickets.